Welcome to Pastoring in the Digital Parish, your resource and point of connection for bringing your congregation into the digital age and leveling up your digital ministry toolkit. I'm Ryan Dunn, your host and proctor for this digital ministry class that you missed in seminary. Today, we're going to explore how to utilize artificial intelligence to transform your sermons into a content machine. But before we dive in, let's set the stage. Most of our listeners are solo pastors with limited time for extra tasks, like building tons of new content for your church's digital presence because the needs of the congregation are there and you only have so much time, right? However, we all know that content is key in digital ministry. The more content you have, the more opportunities you have to be present with people. This is how we spread our fingers across the digital landscape through pieces of content that are out in all these different places. And that's why we're going to focus on maximizing the impact of your content by capitalizing on the single most important piece of content that you likely produce on a weekly basis, the sermon. So before we get underway with some specific action steps to becoming a machine-fueled content machine, this session of Pastoring in the Digital Parish is presented by Safe Sanctuaries, nurturing trust within faith communities. That's a new and comprehensive resource that continues the tradition of Safe Sanctuaries ministry by building on its trusted policies and procedures. To learn more, you can go to safersanctuaries.org or call 1-800-972-0433. All right, let's get started. Here's what you'll need to turn your sermon into an AI-fueled content machine, so to speak. You'll need a recording of your Sunday sermon, a transcription of your sermon. If you're a manuscript preacher, congratulations, you're already done. For once, somebody finally is going to tell you, hey, it's great that you preach from a manuscript. You're also going to need a video editor. You might also need an audio editor platform or a digital audio workstation. They call it a DAW for people in the business. If you know, you know. You're also going to need access to an AI chatbot like the ever-popular ChatGPT. The first step in all of this is to upload your sermon to a transcription service. There are several AI-enabled transcription services available, such as Descript, Reduct, and Type Studio. And these platforms, they go a little bit beyond the basic transcription, and they provide suggestions for further content based on your sermon. Now, personally, I use an app called Cast Magic, which provides me with suggested titles, gives me a whole list of keywords, like 100 of them. It gives me an introduction that I can use for our sermon podcast. It also provides a time-stamped overview and even discussion questions or Q&A prompts. For example, let's say your sermon touches on compassion. Cast Magic or some of the other AI transcription services that I listed, they might suggest a discussion question like, reflecting on your own life, can you recall a time when someone showed you compassion in a difficult moment? Or it might suggest, after listening to this sermon, how has your perspective on the teachings of Jesus been influenced by the speaker's appreciation for compassion? Additionally, Cast Magic supplies key topics and bullets. It provides a reel script, a reel video to put on Instagram. It gives a newsletter write-up and even a tweet thread. Or now, actually, it also adds in a thread, if you know, you know. This opens up a whole world of possibilities for content creation. You can use the discussion questions as social media posts, or you can turn them into a blog post. The Clip Finder feature helps you find compelling quotes, hooks, and it gives you the timestamps that you can turn into video highlights for platforms like Reels or YouTube Shorts or even for TikTok. Okay, let's create some video content. The AI has given you time-stamped ideas for shorter video clips. Now, if you don't have access to an advanced AI like, say, Cast Magic again, there are other ways to get this information. You can use ChatGPT. You still need that transcript or manuscript though, and you can plug it into ChatGPT with a prompt like this. I need recommended excerpts from the following sermon that would make for good Instagram reels. And then of course you paste in your sermon text. I did that with a sermon, and ChatGPT gave me 5 decent recommendations, and it also added this little note at the end, which I thought was a nice touch. It said, remember to pair these excerpts with engaging visuals and captions that reflect the message of collaboration, community, and embodying Christ's love. Well done, robot. The drawback here with this method of using ChatGPT is that it doesn't come back time-stamped. So you'll have to do a little bit of hunting to find your quotes. But I've found that it never takes long, especially if you're looking at a full script for the sermon. It's pretty easy to pinpoint where you say things. I use iMovie to cut the sermon clips. It's real simple. And again, iMovie, since I'm a Mac user, is free, which I know is important to a lot of us. So I'll drop the sermon into iMovie, and then I use the AI generated recommendation to find my clip. And I split the clip where it seems appropriate. You know, sometimes I have to go a little bit longer or a little bit shorter than the AI's recommendation, just what makes sense in my brain. Then I export it. But there's a trick for using iMovie in order to get something exported in a vertical format that would, again, be appropriate for like Reels or TikTok. You need to create an app preview file instead of a normal movie file. And then you kind of have to trick it by making the first clip you insert a vertical video file, even if it's just a placeholder. So I use like the same file over and over again, and I'll plop that vertical recorded video in there first, and that way I'm able to edit everything in vertical format going forward. So you plop in your dummy file, I guess, first, your dummy clip first, and then you can insert your real clip which may be horizontally shot footage, and then you can delete that initial vertical file. And then you can play around with cropping it and zooming in and out, go close, go from a distance. I actually like to start with a quick close-up of the speaker and then zoom back, and then I'll zoom back in on the profound thought line that always comes at the end, when that works, that is. Okay. Let's talk about the sermon podcast next. I've already done a whole episode on 5 steps for producing your church podcast, and a sermon podcast is definitely the most accessible way for churches to engage in podcasting. It's the most easy way to make that content available for most churches. And with AI, you can tailor each podcast episode around your sermon's theme. So here's what I mean by that. For our church podcast, I created an audio donut. So I have this standardized introduction section and this standardized concluding section. I've left space in the introduction for some specialized content for that particular sermon. And that is where I'll give information about the speaker, because that may change week to week, and the text, which definitely changes week to week. And then I'll just give a little tease to invite the listener to be a little more engaged while they listen to the sermon. And the tease always comes from the suggested discussion questions from the AI. So the format for the whole introduction goes like this: a word of welcome, information about our church, then the tailored content about the speaker and the text and information about that, and then a teaser again for the sermon that I generally pull from the AI suggested discussion questions. Or another possibility is to use ChatGPT again. You can use a prompt like, I need a podcast introduction and closing for the following sermon, and then you paste in your sermon text. I tried it, and it kicked back something quite usable. Of course, with all things ChatGPT or any AI interface really, you want to edit it and personalize it for your voice. And also, this is big, check for accuracy. Now, this is a bit of an aside, but I tried using ChatGPT to help research a listicle blog post I was doing of inspiring quotes. So I asked it to give me some quotes about grace from Christian theologians. It kicked back 24 quotes, but the challenge was I couldn't verify a single one of them, meaning that I could not confirm that the person that ChatGPT attributed the quote to actually did utter or write that specific quote. So know this, you got to double check the bot. Now, getting back to podcasts, podcasts are awesome because they live in so many digital spaces. So you and your ministry have a presence through a podcast on Apple Podcasts. You have a presence on Spotify. And then a podcast also becomes content that lives on your website, which helps to fill out the presence there. And then you can take that website link and use it to create posts on social media like Threads and Facebook. And so now you have content that lives on those sites as well. And that's a lot of coverage from one piece of content. This puts your digital presence, your digital footprint into a lot of digital spaces where people hang out. But don't stop there. Your podcast can be repurposed into a short blog post by focusing on a specific talk point from your sermon or an AI-generated discussion question. And now you might be getting a little uptight and thinking about, well, now I need to generate a blog post. Well, don't worry so much about writing a whole blog post from scratch. You can use AI to generate the topic and outline, and then you feed that outline to your AI bot, such as ChatGPT, and request a 500-word blog post. This saves you time and ensures consistency in your content creation process. And remember, AI can help you with further discussion questions as well. This process is actually what I used to generate a script for this episode. So I had a few pages of an outline put together. I fed that into ChatGPT, and I asked it to create a podcast episode script based upon the outline. And what it gave me back was something very, very useful. It took my sentence fragments and turned them into full sentences. However, it also edited out some parts. So what I'm telling you right now was something that I had in the outline that ChatGPT took out for whatever reason. And it also didn't add in a whole lot more. I was hoping it might fill in some gaps that I had in the content, but we're going to talk about that a little bit more later. First, let's focus on the ways, again, that AI can help you. Remembering that it can help us with further discussion questions. And these questions can become bite-sized social media content. You can answer a question in the form of a reel or a TikTok video, or post it in your ministry's Facebook group or Discord server to encourage engagement and interaction with your people. I'm going to jump in here with a reminder that this season of Pastoring in the Digital Parish is being sponsored by another tool that can make your life significantly easier. It's called Safe Sanctuaries, Nurturing Trust Within Faith Communities. It's a new and comprehensive resource that continues the tradition of Safe Sanctuaries ministry by building on the trusted policies and procedures that have guided churches over the past 25 years. This resource contains theological grounding for the work of abuse prevention, psychological insights about abuse and abuse prevention, basic guidelines for risk reduction, age-level specific guidance, and step-by-step instructions on how to develop, revise, update, and implement an abuse prevention plan in your church or organization. And that saves a whole lot of time. For Christians, resisting evil and doing justice are the ways that we live and serve Jesus. Safer Sanctuaries provides help to do just that by framing this work as life-giving, as community-enhancing, and as a proactive endeavor. It enables communities to be empowered and flourish as they develop and implement policies and procedures that make everyone safer. So to learn more, go to safersanctuaries.org or call 1-800-972-0433. Check them out and build a little more care and safety into your community. Okay, let's get back to the machines. Now, I wanted ChatGPT to fill in some cracks that I left in my outline. It did not do a whole lot of that, as I previously mentioned. It really just took my sentence fragments and turned them into full sentences, which is useful for sure, but I wanted to see if I could get added content out of the bot. So I asked what it might add to this episode. Here's what it said in the chat response. Before we wrap up this episode, let's explore a few more ways you can maximize the use of artificial intelligence in your digital ministry. One powerful application of AI is in generating social media content. You can use AI chatbots like ChatGPT to generate engaging captions, quotes, or even full posts for platforms like Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Simply provide the bot with a prompt such as, "I need captivating captions for my sermon clips," and let it work its magic. It's a little self-congratulatory there, ChatGPT. Remember to review and personalize the generated content to align it with your voice and message. AI can also be used for creating visually appealing graphics and images. Tools like Canva or Adobe Spark utilize AI algorithms to suggest templates, layouts, and design elements that match your brand or sermon theme. So with a few clicks, you can have professional-looking graphics to accompany your social media posts, blog articles, or sermon presentations. Another exciting possibility is using AI to enhance your live streaming or virtual worship experiences. AI-powered chatbots can assist in managing live chat interactions, answering common questions, and even providing real-time translations for multilingual congregations. That's spectacular. This not only streamlines the experience for your viewers, but also helps foster a sense of community and engagement. As AI technology continues to advance, there may be even more innovative ways to incorporate it into your digital ministry. From voice-activated assistants to virtual reality experiences, the possibilities are vast. So keep exploring and experimenting with new tools and techniques to stay at the forefront of digital ministry. Remember, while AI, and I love that AI actually generated this little tagline here. Remember, while AI can be a valuable tool, it's important to use it ethically and responsibly. Always double check the information provided by AI and ensure its accuracy before sharing it with your congregation or online community. Now, the chatbots features piqued my interest, probably just because I don't have any experience with administrating them. Of course, I've interfaced with them, who hasn't, right? But I hadn't really considered their utility for ministry much. So I applied ChatGPT with more questions about chatbots, specifically what chatbots might be useful for churches. Here's the response. AI-powered chatbots have become increasingly popular tools for churches to enhance their digital presence and engage with their congregations. The chatbots utilize artificial intelligence algorithms to provide automated responses to answer questions and assist with various tasks. Here are a few examples of chatbots available for churches. ChatGPT, again, cha-ching. Well done, ChatGPT. The technology powering my responses is a versatile chatbot developed by OpenAI. It can be trained and customized to interact with users in a conversational manner. So churches can use ChatGPT to provide automated responses on their websites, social media platforms, or even through messaging apps. Another one is ManyChat. ManyChat is a popular chatbot platform that enables churches to build interactive chatbots for Facebook Messenger. It offers a visual interface for creating chat flows, automating responses, and integrating with other services. ManyChat allows churches to provide instant support, deliver personalized messages, and engage with their community on Facebook. So where I see something like this coming in handy would be in just simply being able to answer questions about like when your church meets, or maybe even asking specific theological questions about your church. What do they believe about infant baptism, for example, or other heavy questions that are on people's minds that they want to clear out of the way before checking out your church. Okay, more from the chatbot. Mobile Cause is a comprehensive platform for churches that includes a chatbot feature. Their chatbot can be integrated into church websites or social media platforms and provides automated responses to common queries. It can also assist with event registration, donation processing, and volunteer signups. Finally, Church Online Platform. Some churches utilize chatbots within their Church Online Platform, which is a dedicated platform for hosting online services and engaging with virtual congregations. These chatbots can help guide users through the online experience, answer questions about service times, They can provide links to resources and facilitate connections within the community. Okay, I was mistaken. There's actually one more AI chatbot assistant. It's called Faith Life Assistant. Faith Life, a platform that offers various tools for churches, has introduced Faith Life Assistant chatbot. This chatbot is designed to assist users on the Faith Life platform by answering questions, providing biblical references, and offering suggestions for study materials or resources. And that is another cool aspect that chatbots might be able to offer for us, is that it can give quick references for something like that. So somebody's saying like, hey, I need some scriptural references for example, what I was trying to get, scriptural references for grace. Well, a chatbot can easily give that back. And to ChatGPT's defense, it actually did that in my trial workout blog post there. It gave me firm and validated scriptural references when I asked it about that. It just wasn't trustworthy when it came to attributing quotes to the proper authors. It's important to note that while these chatbots provide automated assistance, they're not really meant to replace human interaction and, of course, pastoral care. They serve as helpful tools to streamline communication and provide instant responses, but personal connections and pastoral presence should always be a priority in church ministry. And one thing that we've learned through our digital ministry experience is that people want to connect with people. So we want to be able to make that easier for people. Sometimes a chatbot can help facilitate that personal interaction. We just don't want to let the chatbot become the replacement for the personal interaction. When implementing a chatbot, it's essential to define its purpose, train it with accurate information, and regularly monitor and update its responses to ensure it aligns with the church's values and mission. You don't want a rogue chatbot out there. That's going to put a wrap on this session of pastoring in the Digital Parish. We have covered a lot of ground today, but there are bound to be more possibilities for leveraging artificial intelligence in your digital ministry. So I would love to hear your thoughts and ideas. You can join our Pastoring in the Digital Parish Facebook group, or you can reach out to me directly at digitalparish@umcom.org. It's an email address. Some good follow-up episodes to this one include my first interaction with the beta version of ChatGPT back in March of 2022. That episode is called Artificial Intelligence Uses for Digital Ministry. I probably should again mention my episode from a few months ago called 5 Steps for Starting a Church Podcast. And I think our conversation with Shane Russo is a worthwhile follow-up as well. That episode is titled Doing Digital Ministry When Resources Are Scarce. Again, my name is Ryan Dunn. I'd like to thank resourceumc.org, the online destination for leaders throughout the United Methodist Church. They make this podcast possible. And they host our website, pastoringinthedigitalparish.com, where you can find more online resources for your ministry. I also want to thank Safe Sanctuaries for their support. Again, Safe Sanctuaries Nurturing Trust Within Faith Communities is a new and comprehensive resource that continues the tradition of Safe Sanctuaries ministry by building on its trusted policies and procedures. This resource contains theological grounding for the work of abuse prevention, basic guidelines for risk reduction, age-level specific guidance, and step-by-step instructions on how to develop, revise, update, and implement an abuse prevention plan. Connect with them at safersanctuaries.org. Another session of Pastoring in the Digital Parish comes out next week, so I will chat at you then. Peace.